We would like to call Professor Bárbara Teruel. She is here from the State University of Campinas. She also works at the Center, as I mentioned, for Energy Transition. And she'll present herself to you, and then she'll start her presentation. I'll just ask her to stay all the time in front of the tables here because we are recording the presentation. Okay?
Good morning. Welcome to UNICAMP, to Brazil. I work in the College of Agriculture Engineering in UNICAMP. I will talk for you about the connection and relation between agriculture and agroindustry, or agriculture and industry. This is the ideal situation for all, for the world, for the sustainable condition, the integration of the different possibilities of generating energy, the production of food, and the other question with the practical sustainable. Yes? Yes. The agriculture and the industry is very, very connection between are because the development of the technologies, the tools, the apply of big science, IoT, and the other possibilities work in between two in the same connection and along of the year. This is very important because the agriculture is furnish the materials for the different process in the world, in the life, in the different possibilities. In the agriculture, in this moment, the novelties and the different possibility of the robot decision support, mobile system, predict, analyze, and artificial intelligence and big data is very, very present in the all process, in the chains, in the different chains in the agriculture. What is the necessity for this apply of tool and the different technology in the agriculture and the industry? Is necessary for the increased production but cost reduction, making assertive decisions in the different steps of the chain, the whole process with the concept of sustainability. And is very, very important, the increase the quality and nutritional value of the foods, fundamental. Food safety, accessible market, and waste reduction. This is my very important message today, the waste reduction. The agriculture and the industry is very, very connected, and the one example fundamental is the food chain, because the food is necessary for us in the in the all along of the life. The nexus in between energy, water, foods, and the impact of the environment in the conditions, and the impact is big for the climatic conditions actually. For example, about approximately 30% of the global energy produced is consumed in the food sector. The emission of the greenhouse gas emission is very, very, very high for the food chain. In this sector, the food chain, the use of energy is direct or indirect. In the all forms for the chains produce to process to distribution, transport, market or the other possibility. And the market of manufacturing of machineries, agricultural machinery is increased year to year, year to year. For example, this statistics is recent. This is show, you can see the quantity of the market in dollars, billions of dollars, to machinery, agricultural machinery is a decrease in the every years. In Brazil is really true. But the machineries depends basically of fossil diesels. The machineries in the agriculture work fundamental with fossil diesel. This is one problem because the emission is the exhaust gas of this machinery is very, very pollutant. The gases is the increase the greenhouse emission gases, the negative effect to the climate. And on other hands, the agriculture and the production of the food is big consumer of the water. 17% of the water, the sugar, the water in the planet is consumed in the agriculture. Is a high values in the different country or depending of the development system, but the water is, the consumer is very, very hot. And in other hands, this situation is in this moment is very negative situation not correct. Billions of people have foods or in conditions of hunger, energy, billions of people as poverty in energy, water, billions of people or necessity to water. So this is my messenger. This is my grand message for you, for us. We need to change this reality. This reality is in all the world, in all the planets, in all the countries. The waste of foods is very, very high every year. This is loss is in all foods, meat, oils, cereals, fish, fruits and vegetables. 30% of the produce of the foods in the world of the waste is less. But what is the problem? Produce more or decrease the waste? Is the question. But because the water or the water footprints, the foods is high. The water visible and invisible water is included in the production of the oils, the clouds, the shoots, anything. But in the food, because all need food every day, 3 times, 4 times is necessary, 18. Well, bovine meat, this is statistics is for 1 kilogram. What is the liters of water? 1 kilogram of beef, bovine, is this quantity of liters of water. And the other products, I need other quantities, but is very, very consideration when this food is waste, is left. And the carbon footprint of the foods is very high too. Is very hard. This picture is very interesting because it's equivalent 1 kilogram of beef is equivalent to one travel between Campinas, São Paulo, Campinas. You know, 1 kilogram of beef in equivalent, and the carbon and the emissions of on the environment. And the others foods, all foods, is quantity of the carbon footprints, the different foods in the different chains, foods products. Okay, it's a big problem. But in this context, my team, my collaborations in the different projects and CEPETEN and the possibility of the agrovoltaic implemented in UNICAMP. Yesterday, Professor Luis Carlos talking about this. And the other projects, I only presented three projects because the time is short. But this is projects and the other projects, we focus the possibility on implementing digital technical, digital tools in the chain foods, on the other possibility to decrease the energy, water impact to the environment, apply the pesticides or the other chemical substance in the soils, everything. But this is the picture of the some collaboration. The project always have collaboration of the different institutions in Brazil or out Brazil, and especially in different areas, because digital agriculture or agroindustry agriculture is very multidisciplinary area. So it's necessary the collaboration and interaction between different specialists, financial support and the different agencies. So this project is about the use the artificial intelligence and process the image to generate maps that with infestation in sugarcane crops. The sugarcanes in Brazil is very, very important culturally, because this is used to produce sugar and produce ethanol and produce biomass for produce energy. And the wet infestation is big problem, because different varieties of this wet attacks the culture of the cane, and the measuring between the weights and the interest culture. The use of the images with drone parts of the camera and the different tools as process is possible to obtain one platform to asset of customers, farmers, or the other is possibility. In the computer, this platform, you introduce the images of the position in the farm, and the software is processing and show you what is the infestation, what is the localization, what is the type of this variety, and it's possible general subsides for the apply localization, pesticides, and the others actions. In this moment, a project very important is between into the CEPETEN and the financial for companies, private companies. Mahindra is manufacturing tractors. Oriba, which that involve instruments for the gas analysis. And this is my students in the moment, Daniel, Fernando, and Giuliano, the PhD of Master in the Agricultural Engineering. This project is about the use of the advanced biodiesel, one alternative for the low carbon agriculture, decrease the impacts in the greenhouse gas emission. For this project, this tractor of where? O que foi? Ah, sumiu. Para um pouco aí para eu passar para outra tela. Vai. No problem. In this tractor is in this moment is here in my college, and manufacturer for the Mahindra. Instrumentation with different sensors and dynamometer, fluxometer, one is auto gas analyzer, and thermal camera. This tractor is used for this advanced biodiesel. Test about the performance, mechanical performance, consumer or biodiesel, and what is the type or composition of the exhaust gas emission. For this, one developing one interface, digital interface, using imaging about to thermal camera and process artificial intelligence and the other tools. Is in the previous futures, it is possible in the one computer or in digital interface, show the index of performance and the quantity identify the gas, the composition of the gas exhaust. This interface is possible board in the tractor, or you also assess the information about the cloud, different options. Other projects in the line of the developing technology for the sector and transfer technology is finalized, is Daniel and Rodrigo in developing one equipment optoelectronic for evaluate the evaluation non-destructive of quality attributes. In this case, is apply of the chain of grade to wine, to produce wine. In the north of Brazil, Vale de São Francisco, the production of grade and wine is very, very increased as it wines of the high quality. Yes. But the grade 2 wines is necessary at the point the quantity of the breed, sugar, and P&G, soluble total salts, and the other attributes include the flavonoid and anthocyanins counts. This is the great value for wine. So the necessity of the quantifies in the barrera, viñedo, with electronic system, interaction with the rates of the light in the fruits, in the grapes, the relation between the quantity absorbed and reflects this light. My time, my collaborators and me convert in this in the access or the computer on the cloud, evaluation of this quality attributes, fundamental anthocyanins and flavonoids. This is the differential of this developing, because this is patent. It is patented for the UNICAMP, is disponible for the convert in one technology for the marketing. But so my message, let's finish. My message is this and this, because this is question sometimes is invisible for now. Yeah, because generally attack the big problems, the big situation. Yeah, but in the hands, my hands, your hands, this situation is possible change. Yeah, the decrease of the was there, the decrease the loss of food is possible every day, all time. This is change positively the situation about the impact in the climatic condition and the other work to the sustainability in the chains in general. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. So it seems that we have time for one or two questions. You have the first question.
Yes, thank you very much. It's a very interesting presentation, a very important aspect, and also we have doing also something regarding our culture in Denmark. And I actually grew up from the farm, so I have many family members still have a farmland. So I'm quite curious about which is it shows about things this waste that shows this kind of ranking of different type of our culture products. And yes, this is maybe the previous one. Yeah, this one. So I'm quite curious about whether, because of water, carbon footprint, and also all this related to food, and whether you consider about nutrition, because of only eat plant, I have to say is a lack of nutrition and not possible for human to survive. Another thing is when we talk about carbon footprint, which is cow, which is we don't talk about meat only. Actually, cow produce milk and produce proteins, and we also can produce and other different kind of products. So is it fair? So my question is it fair to only put this figure to give the people's image, eating meat is not good? So this is my question.
But there is necessary the change for the habits of consumption. The different acts in the farmer, in the soils, to the change the food of the bovine is one possibility. The forms of the rice cultivated with less water. The other possibility to focus in the low carbon agriculture, but now is decrease my quantity of foods eat. No, this is no problem. The problem is eat the necessary, mark the necessary quantity. Is necessary to implement for example, cold chain for conservation of food. The big problem is the temperature. Temperature is decrease the quality, and the food is lost because the no use of cold chain, for example. My message is now decrease the eat. no eat beef, no eat pork. No. Yes, and there is the different action in the all chain, But the chain for the habit of consumers is very important too.
Thank you. Okay, one last question from Professor Luis, and then we go to the coffee break. Thank you.
I'd like just to comment that tonight we're going to eat a big amount of beef, maybe equivalent to 5,000 kilometers. but but maybe Bo would like to comment about the movement in the Danish government about this.
Can I use this one? Yeah, I'm just saying in Denmark we have this absurd idea that we should all only eat vegetables and no meat. That's the government's new politics. But when I look at your numbers, I think it was quite interesting to see that for beef, for 1 kilo, there was a loss of 200 grams. But for vegetables, for 1 kilo, there was a loss of 500 grams. So I was just wondering, if we look at the total amount of vegetables being produced annually and the total amount of beef being produced annually, where we have the lowest waste. And also where in the food chain do we have, not the food chain, in the supply chain, do we have the waste? I mean, if we go back and look at the history of the EU with respect to cucumbers, I mean, in EU, we have a standard for cucumbers. They all need to be straight. If they're not straight, they're going to be thrown out as waste. So when you go into a greenhouse and you look at the cucumbers and you can say, you're good, you're bad, you're bad, you're good. And then you can see the waste already at the production point. And they're just thrown out. They cannot be sold. It's against the EU regulation. So with that kind of regulations, you really have a lot of waste early on. And then you go out and see in people's fridge and how many cucumbers are being thrown out. But I don't think they throw out their beef. So maybe there's less waste if we eat more beef.
Yeah. The luxury of the waste. Yes, really, really. Okay.
Yeah. And don't worry, we'll have beef, pork, chicken, cheese, but we also have lentils tonight, okay? So don't worry.
Thank you. I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you for the presentation. For me, this is a very important topic. I think it's very essential to talk about it. To be honest, I think for me, it's quite clear from your image, like the enormous different impact that eating meat has and meat production. And even though there is a higher waste of vegetables, that doesn't compare to the incredible carbon emission from production of meat. I would actually be curious if there's time, if you could elaborate on like where the carbon emission from meat production comes mostly from, because I think it's the whole food chain of meat that actually is very problematic to treat, especially with, for instance, like the problem with like the waste of the manure from meat production that's really impactful and damaging also the soil, the water, and the air. So it's a whole holistic problems other than that, yeah, animal suffering, but that's okay. If we want to take out that from the equation, that's also an important aspect, I think. Thank you.
Okay, about this situation, the agriculture is a high consumer of water, yes. In the whole chain, the different foods, the consumption of the water is high too, and produce and in the whole chain, and the produce and the harvest, post-harvest, transportation, storage, and the different situation. But the point is the produce with sustainable actions. Produce with sustainable action. For example, for the production of bovine meat, the bovines is produce methane, because the process of the digestion of the eat is here. What is possible change this situation? Change the type of food to eat the bovine, the past, different other parts. research show this possibility: change the past, the food of the bovine, and decrease the emission of methane. One possibility. The production of the rice use high quantity of water. The solution is don't produce rice? No. The solution is change the form to produce this rice. New varieties con necessity of less water, for example. Tá? This is the question, the change. The traditional agriculture is no more sustainable. No more sustainable. It's necessary to change the form of produce in the agriculture.
Thank you very much. Thank